previous verses have been concerned with the nature of the teaching and our response to it. If our response to it is not that of self-realization, then we've missed the point of it. As enlightenment practitioners, this is the whole point of these teachings, to practice self-realization. Anything else, any other approach to these teachings, is what's described as a transgression. And this refers to an intellectual understanding of the teachings. So verse 405 says, "The teaching itself is thus variously given, subject to transgression. The teaching is no teaching whatever if it is not to the point in each case." And the point in each case is the point of self-realization. So after having been quite specific and uncompromising in the previous two verses, we are told that the teaching is subject to transgression. And the next verse takes us further. Verse 406, "According to the nature of a disease, the healer gives its medicine. Even so the Buddhas teach beings in accordance with their mentalities." And this is a standard understanding, that you receive a teaching in accordance with where you're at. This is what's called the skillful means of the Buddha. But I wonder about this, because if the result is not self-realization, then the point of the teaching has been lost. But then again, it's quite important for people to be able to engage in whatever way they can. So even if they cannot benefit from the full import of these teachings, then at least they can clock into it, they can connect with it somehow. As enlightenment practitioners, though, we really need to be quite uncompromising here, because we cannot be satisfied with anything less than self-realization. At times, though, it's extremely difficult. At times we can be going through such difficult things that it's all we can do to keep in touch with some kind of balance. And sometimes just knowing that the teachings are there, or getting some kind of basic reassurance from them, can be all that we can take at a particular time. However, I don't think this verse really is concerned with the enlightenment practitioner. It does seem to be concerned with others. And it says the Buddhas teach beings in accordance with their mentalities. And the mentalities of most beings are not open to self-realization, which is a problem, because this is what the Buddhas are about. The Buddhas are about teaching self-realization. Anything else is a transgression of the teaching. I had a peculiar inquiry in one of the comments to one of my earlier videos recently, and somebody was asking me advice about good teeth and good eyesight. Now, why should this person have directed this inquiry to me? It's possible because I've given some videos on the siddhis and siddhas, on supernormal powers. But I really didn't feel this was my field of expertise. But I gave some basic common sense advice. But then it struck me, well, this was quite a young man that was asking the question. Young man he was about 25. And at this age, a young man is past the first flush of youth. In fact, a man of 25 can be quite bald at this point. So it seemed to me that this was the real concern, not about maintaining good eyes and good teeth. It's about acknowledging the first signs of mortality, rather like when the young Prince Siddhartha went out of the palace and saw various signs of mortality. The young prince saw sickness for the first time, infirmity, death, and it shook him up. It shook him up to the core of his being. Is this all there is? So I made a second reply to this inquiry and pointed out that here's an opportunity to look a little bit more deeply into the nature of his existence. I didn't quite use these words, but it was along these lines. I didn't get another reply. I noticed the next day I'd lost a subscriber. It might have been a coincidence, I don't know if it was him or not. But all I am able to do is endeavour to convey the spirit of these teachings. And if somebody asks me a question, I do my best to convey the spirit of the teachings within the parameters of the question. So, perhaps this is what is meant by the Buddha's teaching beings in accordance with their mentalities. But fundamentally, in order to appreciate the true nature of these teachings, we need to go beyond our own mentalities and remember our true self, which is of the nature of awareness. Ordinary awareness, the awareness that's hearing this. It's an awareness which is essentially still. No matter what is going on round about it, no matter what our mentality, this awareness is behind it all. So this is what we keep practicing. This is what we keep realizing.